Number 1. Discover Vietnam, the S-shaped land. Located in the heart of Southeast Asia, Vietnam is a captivating country with its unique S-shaped coastline. In fact, its geographical location holds immense strategic importance. Situated at the gateway to the South China Sea, the busiest shipping lane on the planet, and bordering China, Laos, and Cambodia by land, this S-shaped landmass, spanning 332,000 square kilometers, is only slightly larger than the US state of New Mexico. Yet it is home to over 100 million people from 54 ethnic groups, nearly 1/3 of the US population. This diversity paints one of the most dynamic cultural and economic landscapes in Asia. This makes one wonder how such a small country has risen to become an Asian dragon. Looking back over 4,000 years of history, this strategically important location once transformed Vietnam into a turbulent crossroads, a place where numerous of the world's most powerful military empires vied for control of vital trade routes. However, this geographical factor also presented numerous challenges, as 3/4 of the territory consists of rugged mountains and hills. Entering the 21st century, Vietnam's economy is experiencing a tremendous surge, with its GDP exceeding $430 billion. Notably, per capita income in 2024 is only around $4,300, still nearly 20 times lower than that of the United States. Furthermore, thanks to its coastline stretching over 3,200 kilometers, the entire process of deep integration is strongly supported. This advantage transforms bustling ports into a relentless engine of growth for the entire export-oriented economy. Nevertheless, Mother Nature has bestowed upon this country invaluable gifts to compensate. Along the northern coast lies the stunning Ha Long Bay, a wonder of nature. This area boasts over 1,600 limestone islands of varying sizes rising from the turquoise waters, welcoming millions of visitors every year. Further south in central Vietnam, visitors can leisurely camp in Son Doong Cave, exploring the largest natural cave on the planet. They might even have the chance to admire a colossal space containing an entire Manhattan skyline with 40-story buildings, a surreal world straight out of a movie. If you plan to visit central Vietnam, remember that the typhoon season lasts from September to November. During this time, raging storms from the Pacific Ocean can cause severe flooding in many provinces and cities. Historically, this land has endured some of the most devastating bombing in modern human history. Surprisingly, Vietnam is now among the safest and friendliest destinations in the world. The underlying reason stems from the altruism, tolerance, and strong aspirations of its people. Perhaps the great military strategists of the past would be astonished to learn that the United States, once a fierce enemy on the battlefield, has now become one of its largest strategic partners and investors. Vietnamese is an official language enshrined in the Constitution and is known for its extremely complex 6-tone system. This makes conversation challenging for English speakers, as a single incorrect tone can completely change the meaning. For tourists who are hesitant about communication, Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City are ideal destinations, as English is widely and confidently used by the Gen Z generation there. Number 2. The blend of traditional and modern beauty in Vietnamese women. When it comes to Asian women, many people often think of a delicate beauty that needs protection. Vietnamese women perfectly possess that appearance with their petite figures, graceful faces, and dark eyes. This beauty is also constantly evolving, refined and elegant in Hanoi, gentle and hard-working in central Vietnam, and extremely free-spirited and open in the economic hub of Ho Chi Minh City. However, don't let that petite appearance deceive you. Vietnamese women actually possess incredibly impressive leadership capabilities. According to a Forbes report, 2024, the percentage of female business leaders here reaches 40%, a figure that not only leads Southeast Asia but also surpasses many Western powers. However, Their brilliance in the business world puts them in a harsh paradox. They are trapped in the role of all-around athletes by East Asian customs. A female CEO might run a multi-million-dollar company during the day, but still have to roll up her sleeves and cook dinner at night. Cleaning. On average, they spend more than 5 hours a day on housework, while also enduring the pressure to marry early before the age of 30 to avoid being labeled left on the shelf by relatives. Despite all the pressure, the modern generation of women is powerfully breaking through this invisible cage. Millions of urban women are turning their backs on prejudice to choose single life or marry later. Instead of a forced marriage, they prioritize career development and enjoying their personal lives. Their approach to love is also more open than ever as they confidently and proactively seek relationships through Tinder or Date Now, completely taking control of their lives from the boardroom to the dinner table. Would you like to befriend a beautiful and strong Vietnamese woman? If so, comment number 2 and we'll share some super helpful tips with you. Number 3. The giant kingdom of motorbikes in Vietnam. Stepping onto the streets of Vietnam, the first thing that overwhelms your senses isn't the architecture or street food, but a massive sea of motorbikes. With approximately 75 million registered motorbikes, this means almost every adult here owns one. In megacities like Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, motorbikes account for up to 90% of traffic. Imagine, Saigon alone has to carry over 7 million motorbikes every day, a number larger than the entire population of Colorado. Here, motorbikes are not just a means of transportation, they are the lifeblood of the entire economy. The dominance of motorbikes stems from a very practical problem. The average per capita income in Vietnam is around $4,000 per year. Meanwhile, owning a new car can cost tens of thousands of dollars due to expensive taxes and fees. Motorcycles, with their affordability and excellent fuel efficiency, naturally became a survival choice. But the true strength of the motorcycle lies in its unparalleled versatility. Vietnam's urban landscape is a giant labyrinth of narrow, winding alleys, where large cars are completely helpless. Only motorcycles can weave through every nook and cranny to get people right to their doorsteps. You'll be amazed to see a tiny motorcycle carrying a double-door refrigerator, a tall apricot blossom tree, or even a dozen live pigs strapped to the back. During rush hour, the image of a motorcycle sandwiching a family of 4 or 5, returning home in the tropical rain, dressed in brightly colored bat-wing raincoats, has become a symbol of adaptability. From the outside, Vietnamese traffic looks like a wild chaos. Rush hour is a deafening symphony of car horns, dust, and endless lines. Thousands of flashing headlights illuminate the streets. Motorbikes spill onto the sidewalks, vying for every centimeter of space with pedestrians. Many first-time American tourists have been stuck on the roadside for 30 minutes, afraid to cross the endless stream of traffic. Besides the dominance of two-wheeled vehicles, Vietnam also offers long-distance travelers a unique transportation specialty: sleeper buses. From the outside, they look no different from ordinary passenger buses. But step inside, you'll find a space designed with comfortable bunk beds, equipped with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and entertainment screens, no less than an economy-class airplane cabin. At a surprisingly low price of only $8 to $16, less than a fast food meal in the US, you can enjoy a good night's sleep and wake up in a completely new city without any backaches or fatigue. From motorbikes carrying entire belongings weaving through narrow alleys to smooth sleeper buses traversing the night, Vietnamese transportation is truly remarkable. It's a picture that seems chaotic yet vibrant, weary yet relentlessly moving forward. Do you have the courage to rent a motorbike and immerse yourself in that turbulent flow just once in your life? Number 4. Top tourist attractions in Vietnam. Leaving behind the hustle and bustle of intertwined motorbikes in the city streets, the S-shaped strip of land opens up a world of spectacular and contrasting natural beauty. In the northern sea, Ha Long Bay appears like a celestial paradise. It boasts over 1,600 giant limestone islands rising from the turquoise waters. The experience of cruising through the cliffs or kayaking into mysterious caves always leaves visitors in awe, especially at sunset. However, behind the UNESCO World Heritage crown lies a thought-provoking reality. Every day, the bay's management has to mobilize dozens of boats to collect tons of plastic waste and styrofoam floats dumped from aquaculture farms and residential areas. Up in the high mountains of northwest Vietnam, Sapa is hidden in the thick fog of the Hoang Lien Sun mountain range. The cool climate year-round, along with the magnificent terraced rice fields winding along the mountain slopes, creates a breathtaking scene. An irresistible allure. Wandering through the rolling hills and villages, you'll immerse yourself in the pristine life of the Hmong and Dao communities. From here, visitors can reach the summit of Fansipan, the roof of Indochina, to admire the swirling sea of clouds. However, the proliferation of concrete hotels is gradually encroaching upon the traditional wooden houses and cultural identity. Deep beneath the central Vietnamese landscape, nature has bestowed a secret that has shaken humanity. Sun Dung Cave. This world's largest natural cave is so massive that it could contain an entire Manhattan neighborhood of New York with its 40-story skyscrapers. Inside lies a surreal world with underground rivers, crystal-clear lakes, and stalactites reaching up to 70 meters in height. Two giant sinkholes bring sunlight to the bottom of the cave, nurturing a primeval tropical forest growing right beneath the surface. Interestingly, this great wonder was initially discovered by a local farmer by chance. In 1990, while searching for agar wood to make a living, the cave entrance was forgotten deep in the forest for nearly 20 years until it was rediscovered. To protect the fragile ecosystem, expedition tours are strictly limited to about 1,000 people per year. The experience of camping under the giant cave ceiling costs around $3,000, equivalent to an average monthly salary for an American worker, and is always fully booked months in advance. Along the coast, the dynamic city of Da Nang perfectly blends with the serene beauty of Hoi An ancient town, illuminated by lanterns along the Huai River. However, during the typhoon season, locals often have to use boats to escape floods right in their living rooms. Even so, when the water recedes, the smiles of vendors quickly brighten as if nothing had happened. Number 5. Diverse cuisine in Vietnam. The shortest way to understand Vietnam is to sit down on a roadside plastic chair and sample its cuisine. Each day often begins with pho, the national dish of Vietnam. Its appeal lies in the clear, sweet broth, carefully simmered from bones, combined with soft rice noodles, thinly sliced meat, and lime and chili, creating a perfect balance. Yet a hearty bowl of pho, honored by the prestigious Michelin Guide, costs less than $3, cheaper than a black coffee at Starbucks in the US. Next is banh mi, a testament to the perfect cultural fusion between the French baguette and local flavors. The crispy crust encases a rich pâté filling, cold cuts, pickles, and a signature sauce. Its influence is so great that the American Merriam-Webster dictionary has forced it to use its original name instead of the generic term, Vietnamese sandwich. Moving south, you can't miss com tam, broken rice. Broken rice grains served with fragrant charcoal-grilled ribs, egg patties, and crispy pork skin, all bound together by a distinctive sweet and sour fish sauce. Few know that this generous portion, as satisfying as a giant Texas BBQ, was once a hunger relief dish for the impoverished working class in the Mekong Delta. However, the Vietnamese culinary landscape isn't just vibrant and pleasant. Delving into local life, the menu begins to challenge your limits. First is fertilized duck eggs, embryonated duck eggs, boiled and served with Vietnamese coriander, salt, pepper, and lime. While its appearance might shudder Western diners, Vietnamese people consider it a perfect yin-yang balancing remedy that instantly boosts vitality. The level of horror continues with blood pudding. This bright red jelly made from raw animal blood mixed with fish sauce, sprinkled with roasted peanuts and herbs, is an extremely popular appetizer at feasts. However, behind that enjoyment lies a fine line between festive reunions and the risk of deadly parasitic infections. Finally, the challenge representing the Mekong Delta. Coconut beetle larvae. Drop the plump, wriggling larvae directly into a bowl of spicy fish sauce and chew them straight into your mouth. Despite being touted as incredibly nutritious, this experience is nothing short of a brutal survival challenge on reality TV. Standing before a table laden with food, would you choose to savor a steaming bowl of beef pho, or bravely close your eyes and chew on a wriggling coconut beetle larva? Let me know in the comments. Number 6. Vietnamese coffee is among the best in the world. If you've ever wondered which country is quietly controlling the world's morning alertness, the answer is undoubtedly Vietnam. With a massive production of 7 million tons per year, this S-shaped nation comfortably holds the position of the second largest coffee exporter on the planet, second only to the giant Brazil. Here, coffee is not just caffeine. It's the soul of the sidewalks, connecting everyone from the factory worker to the intellectual elite. The dominant crop is Robusta coffee. Unlike the delicate Arabica beans that Americans usually drink, Vietnamese Robusta is bold, strong, and has twice the caffeine content. Vietnam currently supplies more than half of the world's Robusta, becoming the backbone of most instant coffees and espressos you consume daily. But the ultimate luxury belongs to a shocking name: civet coffee. Coffee beans are eaten by civets, naturally fermented in their bodies, and then excreted before being cleaned and roasted. This process strips away the harsh bitterness, replacing it with a smooth, aristocratic sweetness. At $1,000 per kilogram, equivalent to 200 lattes at Starbucks, New York, it's one of the most expensive beverages in the world. The coffee culture here is so innovative that it amazes even top baristas. From the slow drip of condensed milk into the metal filter to the smooth tiramisu-like Hanoi egg coffee, this allure has propelled Vietnam past Italy and Colombia to become a leading destination for global coffee lovers. However, behind this billion-dollar pride lie harsh realities. Climate change threatens to reduce cultivated land by 50% by 2050. Environmental scars from the overuse of fertilizers and animal rights controversies surrounding civet farming are forcing farmers to choose between yield and sustainability. Ultimately, Vietnamese coffee is a symbol of resilience. It could be a $1 plastic cup on the sidewalk, or the ultimate black gold coffee costing the equivalent of an average monthly salary in the US. Instead of spending $7 on a mass-produced latte back home, why not fly to Vietnam? For just a few pennies, you can sit on a low plastic chair, hold a strong cup of Vietnamese filter coffee, and feel the true pulse of Southeast Asia. Number 7. Strange things that only happen in Vietnam. The true pulse of Vietnam isn't found in luxurious resorts, but rather in the bustling sidewalks and remote villages, places that deliver a series of culture shocks to Western tourists. First, there's the paradox of the 1,000-star salons. Amidst the chaotic traffic of Hanoi or Saigon, a barber only needs a worn chair and a makeshift mirror hanging on a mossy wall. Instead of an expensive, cool salon for less than $2, a quarter cheaper than Supercuts in the US, you get a neat haircut and expert ear cleaning. The noise and dust are completely overshadowed by convenience and affordability. Next is the summer fashion shock. When the sweltering heat reaches 104 degrees Fahrenheit, instead of wearing cool swimsuits like in Miami, Vietnamese women don on their most conservative, covered-up outfits. Thick jackets and long, oversized sun-protective skirts that cover you from head to toe are worn even when swimming in the sea. The obsession with the harmful effects of UV rays has turned total sun protection into an unwavering fashion belief. The difference in healthcare is also a major shock. In the US, a pack of antibiotics costs hundreds of dollars, and requires a doctor's appointment. But in Vietnam, that process takes only 3 minutes. Despite concerns about medical abuse, this incredible convenience allows you to walk into any pharmacy and buy strong antibiotics without a prescription. Deep in the northwest mountains, the Hmong custom of wife abduction presents a spectacular deception. The name suggests a brutal act of forced marriage, but in reality, it's a prearranged romantic drama. The kidnapping was merely a formal proposal, and the girl had every right to refuse and return home without anyone being allowed to stop her. Finally, the most moving aspect is the paradox of death. An ending is a continuation. The Thai and Lolo people still lovingly feed the deceased spoonfuls of rice. The Han He people carve wooden statues to place on the altar, inviting them to eat and talk every day as if there were no separation. The highlight is the funeral ceremony of the Khmer Mu people, where the family exhumes and cleans the remains of their loved ones and holds a grand ceremony of singing and dancing to send the soul to the eternal realm. Amidst the hustle and bustle of modern life, these strange customs are still preserved persistently. Among the cultures mentioned above, which one impressed you the most? Please leave your opinion in the comments below. Number 8. Vietnam is bustling at night. As the sun sets, Vietnam sheds its daytime hustle and bustle to reveal a vibrant nightlife. It's a strange blend of rustic street culture and modern rhythms, a stark contrast to the enclosed, expensive nightclubs of America. The soul of the night is the sidewalk beer culture. Instead of luxurious leather chairs or strict dress codes, people crowd onto tiny plastic chairs along the roadside. In America, you'd pay $7 to $10 for a bottle of beer in a quiet setting. But here, for just $1 to $2, you can get a refreshing cold beer amidst a lively crowd. The most addictive aspect is the complete breakdown of personal space. Closely spaced plastic tables allow visitors to easily strike up conversations with locals, regardless of language barriers. This openness and hospitality have helped Ho Chi Minh City surpass both London and Tokyo to be ranked among the top 10 cities with the best nightlife in the world, according to Time Out. In stark contrast to the casual street life is the luxury of rooftop bars. Perched atop skyscrapers, these are where the elite enjoy sophisticated cocktails, pulsating EDM music, and panoramic views of the glittering metropolis. Adding to this is the interesting paradox of karaoke. Unlike the need to bravely sing in front of strangers on an open stage in the US, karaoke in Vietnam offers absolute privacy. People rent luxurious soundproof rooms to sing, relieve stress, and unwind with family and friends at any time. However, this vibrant picture still hides unforeseen dangers. Although Vietnam is known for its safety, the crowded sidewalks force you to hold on to your wallet tightly to avoid quick pickpocketing incidents. More dangerously, behind the hostess services at dimly lit establishments lie devastating legal risks. Prostitution is completely illegal, and a moment of recklessness can lead Western tourists to face imprisonment or immediate deportation. Whether you choose to clink glasses on a bustling sidewalk or sip wine on a breezy rooftop, always prioritize safety to fully enjoy the hospitable nightlife here. Number 9. Vietnamese people are strangely superstitious. In Vietnam, a multi-million-dollar business deal or a happy marriage is sometimes not solely determined by ability or love. It also depends on an invisible force called spirituality and feng shui. Before a store opens or a family starts a business, the first thing they do is not run an advertising campaign, but to set up an altar to the god of wealth. Unlike Westerners who often pray in large, spacious churches, Vietnamese people place the altar to this god of wealth in a secluded corner at ground level, facing directly towards the main door. They believe that this humble position allows the god of wealth to easily observe and receive blessings from outside. Every morning upon opening the door, the owner carefully lights fragrant incense sticks, offers a cup of water, and murmurs prayers, hoping for a prosperous day of business. Just ask yourself, in America, would any CEO start their workday by lighting a cigarette and offering it to a small statue placed on the floor? This cautious approach permeates every decision, big or small, through the practice of consulting auspicious dates and times. Vietnamese people believe that all cosmic processes are influenced by the stars and the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, water, earth, fire. Because the number 4 is pronounced tu in Sino-Vietnamese, sounding similar to tu, meaning death, it is considered extremely unlucky. Apartments on the 4th floor are often difficult to sell and have to be drastically discounted. Conversely, the number 9 symbolizes eternal longevity. A phone SIM card containing a sequence of 5 or 6 nines, for example, 999999, can be sought after by wealthy individuals and purchased for tens or even hundreds of thousands of US dollars. Even before children are born, their fate is intertwined with feng shui. Naming a child is not simply about choosing a catchy name. Parents will consult shamans or numerology experts to calculate the number of strokes in the name and its compatibility with the parent's birth charts. A name chosen according to feng shui principles is expected to create a protective shield, paving the way for a child to have a peaceful life, academic success, and a prosperous future. Conversely, people are particularly wary of naming their children after deceased ancestors, believing it to be disrespectful and bring misfortune. Leaving aside the debates about superstition or scientific basis, these customs are a strong link between people and supernatural forces. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the market economy, Vietnamese people still maintain a spiritual space where they entrust their aspirations for peace and prosperity, something no contract can guarantee. What do you think about a phone SIM card being worth as much as a luxury car simply because of feng shui factors? Please comment your opinion below. Number 10. Living like a millionaire in Vietnam. Imagine a carefree life, sipping coffee on a balcony overlooking the city streets, yet your total monthly expenses are less than half your rent back home. It sounds like a pipe dream, but that's the reality tens of thousands of foreigners are enjoying in Vietnam. With a cost of living only a third of New York or London, a single person can live comfortably, dine out, and travel frequently on a budget of $700 to $900 per month. A comfortable apartment in the heart of Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City costs only $400 to $800. Further from the center, the price drops to $250 to $500, an unbelievable figure compared to $3,000 for a cramped apartment in Manhattan. Utility bills, all-inclusive, rarely exceed $100. As for food, it's truly a bargain. For just $1 to $2, less than an espresso in the US, you can have a hearty meal with street food specialties. If you cook yourself, $25 a week is more than enough to stock your refrigerator with fresh meat, fish, and vegetables. Transportation is also incredibly cheap. A ride-hailing service for a 5 to 10 kilometer trip costs only $3 to $5, or you can rent a motorbike for $50 a month. Private healthcare is especially affordable. An international dental checkup costs only $10 to $15, dozens of times cheaper than in the US. However, this dream lifestyle also comes with challenges. You'll need to apply for an e-visa, around $25, before arriving, and the chaotic traffic can be overwhelming. The advice is to use ride-hailing services if you're not yet confident enough to drive. Regarding social etiquette, friendliness comes with unspoken rules. You'll be warmly welcomed if you know how to say hello, but modest clothing and removing your shoes are mandatory when entering temples. In traditional markets, bargaining is an art of communication, as long as you maintain a cheerful attitude. Finally, there's the currency paradox. While credit cards are common in major cities, cash, VND, remains king in alleyways and street stalls. You can easily exchange USD to VND at large gold shops for the best rate, instead of at the airport. For stomach safety, choose crowded restaurants, drink bottled water, and bring your own digestive medicine. In an increasingly expensive world, Vietnam is a land of promise, where you don't need to be a millionaire to enjoy a rich life. Are you willing to trade your rent in America for a life of freedom in Vietnam?